Hey everyone, me Kevin here. So y'all know that California is broken and nuts. Well, in this video, I'm gonna show you how California, at least from what I'm discovering so far, and we've just started our race for governor, our campaign for governor of California in the 2021 recall election. I'm gonna show you how corrupt the system is already starting to look. So here's the thing. First things first, there are donation limits. When you go to meetkevin.com/donate and you want to donate to a candidate like me, you have a limit of about $32,000 that you can donate, which seems like a lot of money. Unless you are a sitting governor who is up against a recall, then the sitting governor has 0 campaign contribution limits, which helps us understand why the co-CEO of Netflix was just able to donate $3 million to Gavin Newsom. But everyone else fighting against him is stuck at $32,000. So that's just part one of this, and we've got quite a few things to talk about. See, if we do research on this $70 billion surplus that California and Gavin Newsom say we all of a sudden have, a $70 billion surplus, and we have all this extra money available to spend, we actually realize that Gavin Newsom is counting federal funding and leftover funding from other years. We actually only have a surplus of about $38 billion. But because Gavin Newsom is now going on a spending spree thinking he has $70 billion, he's actually putting us $12 billion into additional debt. So when we think, oh, we have this surplus, yay, there are going to be folks with late traffic fines that are getting those fines waived. In other words, Newsom's buying votes. We're not using a surplus to do that. We're actually going into further debt so that Newsom can make sure he gets reelected. But folks, it doesn't just stop there. Gavin Newsom yesterday cheered how SB 7, Senate Bill 7, is going to streamline housing and make housing faster and more efficient. Folks, let me tell you exactly what SB 7 does, because we actually read the bill word for word, and here's what it does. SB 7 only helps folks who have projects worth at least $15 million. So if you're developing anything worth less than $15 million, you're not even on the radar of SB 7. It also only applies to multifamily units in infill locations, and it only helps expedite the environmental review process and portion of the entire development process for real estate. So you think this is going to speed up housing? It's not, because guess what? Even if you speed up the environmental review process, in order to get authorization to have your environmental process sped up, you actually have to apply to get authorization to have your environmental review process sped up. But guess where you have to apply? The governor's office. So in other words, Gavin Newsom is funneling anyone with more than $15 million to spend right before a recall election through his office to get faster approvals. Folks, I don't know about you, but that sounds a little shady. And folks, this is how Gavin Newsom is branding making real estate more efficient and more streamlined in the state. It makes it sound like, the sound bite essentially is that, oh great, we're finally making real estate development easier. No, we're making rich $15 million developments easier to funnel into Gavin Newsom's pockets so that Gavin Newsom can decide if he wants to speed up the approval process for your project. That's literally SB 7 for you. It's a complete disaster, and it shows you how ridiculous politics are in our country. No wonder we're spending 12.5 times as much money as we should be spending on a high-speed rail. The game is rigged so the governor's friends can get payouts. But folks, it's not just that. The housing and rental assistance that our state is supposed to be getting is bogged down by such a disastrous system of the governor failing to coordinate the state that we now have LA County releasing a statement to the governor saying if the governor does not streamline the process for rent relief and rent forgiveness in the state, LA County might no longer participate with the state on future programs. Now look, I want to be clear, okay? I'm not saying that the governor is definitely corrupt sending money to his friends and cronies, but it's certainly weird that when the private sector tells us they can build a high-speed rail for 1/12 of the cost, why are we not doing that as government, as California? It's questionable. Why is the governor directing projects for faster execution if they're more expensive than $15 million projects to his office? It makes you wonder. I'm not saying the government is corrupt, but let's just say a lot of this rhymes with potential corruption. And it's also certainly shady that we have, unlimited donations possible for the existing governor, but not for everybody else. It kind of rhymes with the governor shutting down hospitality and restaurants, but dining with lobbyists at the French Laundry last year at the peak of the pandemic. It is for Gavin, but not for everyone else. It is very shady. Not only the rental assistance problem, but the surplus problem, SB 7's failure, and this donation disaster, to me, are all signs that it is time to vote Gavin Newsom out of office. It's time for a transparent process in politics. Nobody's going to be more transparent than somebody who shows you the behind the scenes of their campaign every single day. You're going to see where every single dollar goes in our campaign, but you're also going to see where every single dollar goes when I'm running this state, because I'm tired of people wasting money in this state. And it's not our workers, it's not our unions, it's not our teachers that are at fault, and it's not the people receiving money from the state that are at fault. It's Gavin Newsom's fault. He is the problem, and he's standing in the way of making California what it should be, a golden state. I will change that. Go to meetkevin.com/donate to donate to the campaign, vote yes on Recall 21, and vote yes on Meet Kevin Paffrath for Governor 2021.